It began the way many stories do, with once upon a time. I told my first story when I was 11, and within 3 sentences, I held that audience in the palm of my hand. Ever since, stories have followed me. They've been my work and the way I see the world. Now I get to help others harness the power of their stories. If you have ever wondered if you have a story to tell, or if you should tell it, the answer is yes. And I'll teach you how.
So ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for Kindra Hall.
How you feeling? You got it. You got it. I'm Kindra Hall. I am an author, a speaker, and a professional storyteller. Why does storytelling work so well? Well, there are a lot of reasons, but the first one starts here. Humans are attracted to stories. This is what people want to hear, and it doesn't matter who they are, it doesn't matter where they come from. If you're talking to potential customers or potential clients, they want to know that you understand where they're sitting right now. This business is all about trust. It's trust in you as the individual. It's trust in the reality of your 5 C's and your customer promise. But as leaders in an organization, I want you to think carefully about this as well. Your people, whether it's your internal team or your field, they want to feel connected to you as people. And the fastest way to build that trust, to deepen those relationships, is to share a little story. Have any of you been on the receiving side of somebody's story and suddenly you like them more? Suddenly you feel more about them? Do you know that the same works in reverse? If you just were to share a very small story with every person you meet, they will like you more, they will trust you more. Value stories are the stories that illustrate the value of what it is you have to offer, what your product or service will mean in someone's life. We don't buy the thing. We buy the story of what the thing will mean in our lives. So if you find yourself getting stuck in those price conversations, it means you haven't told them a story. You haven't told them the right story. It isn't about getting somebody's attention. When you're telling a story, they will give you their attention. How many of you have ever been giving a presentation, right? You give a presentation or you're talking to people, you're doing your thing, then you can see the people looking at you, but you know they are far, far away. The storytelling process is a co-creative one. As I am telling you my story, you are creating your own in your mind. You are taking my words and adding your images. Let me ask you, when I was telling you the story about physics class, how many of you imagined a high school classroom of your own that you sat in? Or could you even picture like one of your teachers that you loved? Or when I was talking about the roller coasters, were you thinking about a roller coaster that you yourself, I see the heads nodding, yes, it's because I know what I'm doing up here. If I want to grab people's attention, if I want them to be right there, then what people want to hear is a story. The characters in stories that are about brands are the people who are experiencing the brand. The brand isn't the character. The people who experience the brand are the characters. The strength of your brand is no longer measured by how well you can tell your prospects, your customers, who you are and what you do. The strength of your brand is measured by how well your customers, your clients can tell their friends and can tell their networks. How do they do that? By sharing stories. There's a lot of talk when it comes to storytelling centered around the hero. Like, who's the hero? You have to have a hero. When I think about stories, I eliminate the hero because stories are about us. Our stories don't need heroes. They just need characters, which I think is so liberating. And those are the best stories, the small stories that happen on any given day.
Kindra has the distinct ability to take a story that we're trying to create and help us pull out the key pieces of it to make it so much more effective.
It isn't the magnitude of the story that matters, it's the decision to tell a story. Even small stories can go a long way.
I think these days you hear that term a lot. We tell stories, I'm a storyteller, but I don't think people really understand the background and the process it goes through to tell a great story. So I think she's created this method that helps you get to this wonderful story that's going to be engaging and that people will continue to read the article, to read the blog, to watch the full video instead of turning off after 10 seconds or the first paragraph.
You will stay with people for years. And isn't that what we all want? Isn't that what we all need to have our voices be heard?
I tell you what, the energy level is phenomenal. You don't need to come in with energy. I think Kindra has enough for everybody in the room.
Today is the day that I can't wait to share with you the power of your stories. Ladies and gentlemen, the stories that you already have at your fingertips. The world wants to hear it. If you want your voice to be heard, if you want your business to grow, if you want your light to shine bright and your dreams to grow bigger, all you need is to tell your stories. And today, that's what I'm going to teach you to do. Are you excited or what? You are here to leave a legacy. You are here to make a mark. You are here to have your voice be heard. Never underestimate the power of your stories to make that happen. Is that clear? Once Upon a Time is the classic opening. Like the first stories you ever heard probably started with Once Upon a Time. So Once Upon a Time may seem like a strange way to end, but the truth is the end of our time together here really is just the beginning. Because once upon a time, you found a storyteller, and it meant that now you can tell your stories. So if ever you think that a story isn't good enough, that a story isn't going to take you far enough, remember that humans love stories. That is what we want to hear. It all happens because you chose first to believe in your story. Thank you so much for the honor of being here with you today. I can't wait to hear the stories you tell.